Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton clashed on energy in the second leaders' debate of the campaign. The Liberal leader admitted he would use Commonwealth powers to override the states who didn't want nuclear power, while the PM repeatedly refused to answer when power bills would fall.
When will we see our power bills come down?
They are. Well, what we know is that renewables are the cheapest form of power.
So when do the bills come down?
And what the market is delivering.
When will the bills come down?
Under our plan, we know that renewables are the cheapest form of power.
When do we see the bills come down?
Well, what we need to do is to roll out renewables.
Oh, it's tough when they don't answer the question, isn't it? For their take, let's bring in 7 News reporter Nick McCallum and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli. Good morning to you, Nick. What did you think of both the leaders and their energy comments last night?
Well, it was all fairly predictable. There is no doubt Mr Albanese and his energy spokesman Chris Bowen made a huge mistake in the last election campaign by stipulating the bills will come down by $275. Of course, that hasn't happened, and they've been slammed for it fairly, I think. It was a stupid thing to do, broke all the political rules. Do not put a target on your back. So, of course, he wasn't going to say when bills were going to come down, and he wasn't going to put a number on it. So good on David Spears for keep on persevering on that. It made him look bad, and it is bad, but it was always going to happen. Now, on nuclear, Mr Dutton does have a problem in that the local Liberal parties in Queensland, the government, the LNP government, and also here in Victoria, the opposition, both of them have indicated that they're not really supportive of the nuclear policy. Here in Victoria, Brad Batten, the new opposition leader, basically says, well, we haven't made our mind up yet, which is a big, of course, no. So he is going to have to take on local Liberal parties and governments if he actually gets elected. So that is a big problem for him. Overall, though, I thought it was fairly predictable. I don't think it changes any votes. It just reinforces if you're going to vote yes or no on either party.
Yeah, and as we've said, the polls are pretty close. They say that Albo is ahead, but Rosanna, you could ask the same thing 5 times to Mr Dutton. I wonder whether he would answer when are the power bills coming down. What were your thoughts about last night?
I think none of us should be surprised when a politician doesn't answer the question. It's almost a hallmark of a good politician. It's a better hallmark of a good journalist. So that was refreshing last night to see the journalist stay on it over and over and over. So that was actually a bit of entertaining, almost a bit like sport. So that was good last night. Really, the questioning was really on point. And also, I think that when it comes to the Commonwealth overriding the state, states override local governments. That is the way the government structure is set up in this country. So we shouldn't be surprised. You've got governments overriding lower governments. You've got politicians overriding the questions. So no surprises in the debate last night. But again, it was interesting to watch, which is nice.
OK, finally, a viral social media trend to cause absolute chaos during one scene in this new movie Minecraft getting out of hand, with teens in Melbourne setting off a fire extinguisher into a cinema crowd in Melbourne. One mum said it was burning to swallow. Now some cinemas are choosing to cut out the movie scene and prevent the chaos. Nick, where do you stand on this? They started throwing popcorn in the air, now they're throwing fire extinguishers.
Look, this is me being a grumpy old man. I come from the generation where the idea of interacting with a movie was getting dressed up as Jake and Elwood Blues and doing all the moves to the Blues Brothers, or getting dressed up as a nun and singing along to Sound of Music. I cannot believe this. I do not understand it. It is ridiculous. I would love a movie theatre manager to actually address the crowd before one of these Minecraft movies and say, listen, if you throw food, if you use a fire extinguisher, that's it. I'm turning off the movie. Everyone has to leave, and you can blame the pickles who have done it. Now, I don't expect a movie theatre to do it, but to me, it is mindless, it is thoughtless, and it's reflects on social media, because all they want to do is be on social media, even if you're on social media for being a pickle.
Yeah, the fact that you're using the word pickle is, I think, possibly
I would love to
aging
use something
all of us.
stronger, Nat. I would love to use something stronger.
Look, Rosanna, I know it's bad, but if you have teenage boys, particularly, I think you really, really relate to this. I was shown this a few weeks ago and did laugh. But if you go there with your little kids, it would be quite disturbing.
Well, I know that kids used to throw popcorn and Maltesers.
Yes.
Perhaps back in Nick's day it was not like
It was
that.
pickles.
But
It was.
pickles, so that's not new. The thing is that when you're throwing food and then even a fire extinguisher, it does take the enjoyment out of a movie. So we might have laughed when it was someone throwing a little bit of food, but not so much now, just for TikTok fame, going too far. It's absolutely too far. I don't think anyone would argue with that.
Yep.
And if anyone today throws a pickle, it is Nick's fault.
You might have started something. Imagine that. Or the pickle juice that the footballers use. Oh, no. Okay,
I do
we won't
not
say
want
it.
to imagine that.
That's it. They're rapping me in my ear. I think we've said too much. Bye. See you next week. Shabo.